Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Pawnee grasslands. I had intended to shoot a video doing 4x5 film here with some Provia 100F that I really need to use up. But unfortunately, you could probably tell it is extremely windy. B, the wildflowers are not quite in bloom, so I'm gonna come back for the next couple of weekends until I can get those wildflowers. And C, I grabbed the wrong lens. I brought my 90 and 210. I meant to grab my 90 and 150. The 90 is way too wide for what I'm gonna end up shooting, and the 210 is way too tight. So for all those reasons, the 4x5 is back in the bag yet again. So hopefully in one of these next videos, I'll finally get it out and do some shooting with it. But all is not lost because I did bring my digital kit the whole way out here. I was cursing myself why I carried both cameras, and now I'm very glad that I did, because what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be shooting these two buttes here, and you can see we have these gorgeous storm clouds. They might not look like much yet, but there's a lot of texture up there, especially on this left side. And on the horizon, there's a nice band where the sun is gonna drop. I swear it's gonna drop, and it's gonna illuminate the sides of these buttes. And we're gonna get some really beautiful side lighting here, and that is gonna catch all the texture in those storm clouds. So yes, I'm going for a pano. It's gonna be from the right of that butte there, all the way out to the left, just to the end here where these windmills start picking up. And I think it's just going to be an absolutely gorgeous scene. Hopefully with the wind, I'm able to get a nice sharp image. I'm going to be shooting at about 135 millimeters, probably 7 images stitched. That's the only concern at this point, is I'm going to be at about a ½ second shutter speed, and the wind is really whipping. So worst case scenario, what I'll do is shoot a single image wide and then crop it down later. But there's so much beautiful texture on that butte that I don't want to lose, so I'm hoping that the wind will calm down enough to give me a shot to shoot it with the telephoto lens. But I'd say we probably have about 5 minutes left before that sun drops below the clouds and gives us that light. So I'm going to go ahead, finish cleaning up here, get ready to get the shot. So I was in about this same spot a year ago, actually a few years ago now, almost the exact same conditions. And at that time, exactly what we had here, beautiful storm clouds, and all the light caught in this direction, and none of it was here. I really hope that doesn't happen again, because I don't like the image I came away with last time. And if the light does catch over here, I'm gonna have no choice but to try and find a composition, because the clouds are phenomenal. And you don't get clouds like this a lot in Colorado, so I don't wanna pass up the opportunity to shoot them. The buttes aren't going anywhere. I can always come back and shoot the buttes, so I'm here to capture the storm clouds, but there's just not a whole lot out there. So hopefully I'm not gonna have to scramble and find another composition, because there is some really nice texture here. It's just a matter of whether or not we'll get the light. There's a rainbow over there, of course. Fucking hell. So the best of the texture is behind you, as I was showing you before. The problem is, not only are the rock structures not as interesting in that direction, the light is coming from this direction, so that is all shadow. And I feel like the scene, whether we get the light in the sky or not, needs that little bit of light on the foreground. And like I said, like I keep saying, it's not happening. The damn sun is gonna drop, and it's gonna put some light on this foreground, and that's gonna be key to the image. So nothing in this direction, as beautiful as it looks, is gonna be the right shot. So if I do have to recompose, it's gonna have to be somewhere in this general area. So I'm gonna stay put. I've decided. Yeah, I'm gonna stay put. Where the hell am I gonna go? I'm here. Oh, damn. And actually, as I jibber jabber, that light is starting to hit the butte. Okay, so I changed my game plan a little bit. I bumped the ISO up to 400. If you watch this channel, you know I hate doing that. This camera sucks in higher ISO, but the wind is gonna kill it. It's gonna be a soft image. So I'm bumping the ISO up to ISO 400, and that's gonna get me to a 1/15 of a second shutter speed, and that's a lot more manageable than a ½ second. Sun is dropping. Oh, for the first time in like a year, I'm right. The sun is doing what I thought it would do. Oh, it never happens. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing as much texture in the sky. When I was driving in, it was phenomenal. But man, this light is just incredible. Holy shnikes. All right, here it comes. Beautiful light on the foreground. Gorgeous dark sky. Nice texture in the clouds. Getting the perfect layers with the shadows on the immediate foreground and light in the midground. I'm actually going wider because I want to get all of this out here. I might switch back to the wide angle because right now I'm at about 80. I kind of want to be more about 60 millimeters to get more of this foreground now that there's the layers of light. My goodness, this is beautiful. The only thing is we've lost some of that texture in the sky. Everywhere else has texture, but that's okay. So I'm actually gonna have to bracket. The left side here is so bright compared to the right side. And I'm also gonna bracket so that if the wind does cause shake, hopefully some of those darker images will work out because there'll be faster shutter speed, obviously. Oh, we got a little bit of a rainbow. If that one makes it into the frame and gets a little bit taller, because right now it's just like a rainbowy cloud on the horizon. Grow, you mother. Oh my goodness. I gotta show you this side over here. Let me finish this image. There is gorgeous texture and a rainbow on that side. I might have to put on the 400 millimeter and shoot that. My goodness, this is flipping unbelievable. Okay. Look at this. That texture. Oh yeah, I'm putting on the 400. Actually, I'll keep the 200. I don't have time for that. I gotta get this shit going. Okay. All right. Can you even see me? I don't know. All right, let's get this. Oh man. This is incredible. Sorry, I know the wind is whipping on the mic right now. Okay, that rainbow is starting to grow and we got rain coming down on the horizon, which is freaking awesome. We're losing some of the light because the sun is working its way behind a cloud. So I'm gonna finish this up. Sorry, I keep forgetting I'm doing a video here. This is amazing. I almost didn't make it here. The whole drive here was like white knuckle because I was running behind and I was afraid I wouldn't make it. And I just saw these clouds and I was just thinking, man, if I don't get out there in time, I'm gonna be kicking myself. And now I am so glad that I made it out here. Whew, just incredible. Okay, done. All right, now we gotta get back, do the other one again. Okay, so we lost a little bit of light on the butte itself, but the textured cloud is starting to roll in. You can see the rainbow on the right side. And there's another break on the horizon, and we still have 15 minutes until sunset. I'm like a kid in a candy store. We don't get cloud a lot in Colorado. So this is just one of the coolest experiences, and the color and the light is just insane. Okay, focusing obviously on the butte. And I'm gonna bring it out to about 120 millimeters. I want more. Yeah, about 100 millimeters. Because now I'm really trying to get this texture that's just filling the sky. The rain coming down on the horizon really makes the image for me though. I mean, what more could you ask for? Wildflowers. I wanted the flowers, but gosh, this is better. I have never seen clouds of this texture before. Okay, so I've obviously moved you a bit. I realized you might not be able to see as well. I'm really trying to shield my camera, but man, this wind is relentless. I just got to do one more pass before I lose. I'm losing my rainbow on the edge there. The color contrast and the warmth of the clouds and the shadows is just insane. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open up my aperture a bit. I'm gonna go down to about f7.1. I'm gonna boost that ISO a little bit as well, just to absolutely make sure that I could have a faster shutter speed and absolutely make sure that I don't have any shake. So I'm going to ISO 800, f7.1, and that's gonna allow me to go down to a 50th of a second. And at that point, I should be good. I think the best of the light is likely behind me, but as I say that, the clouds over here just keep getting better. So if these actually catch and get some beautiful color, oh my goodness. The buttes are starting to get that side light, giving just enough contrast on that texture. My goodness. This might be one of the most incredible sunsets. And it's not even a sunset. It doesn't have that typical sunset color, but it's so dramatic. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, I'm gonna spin you around again. I want to show you over to the left here, this light that's coming in these clouds. I'm hoping this will settle above the buttes. It's just phenomenal. You can see that sun still has a bit to go. We're about 10 minutes until sunset, but look at that color. My goodness. Oh, I'm not crying because it's so beautiful. I'm crying because the wind is blasting my eyeballs. I don't know what to say. I think I'm torn. I just reviewed the images. They are sharp, so I think we're good to go there. But we had that beautiful rainbow on the edge of the frame, but I honestly think that later, after we lost that rainbow, the clouds got so dramatic and beautiful. I think I'm just going to end up going with the image that doesn't have the rainbow but has the more dramatic, warm light. I'm still going to wait just a couple of minutes just because I don't want to pack up, get 30 feet away, and then have the light kick off here, and I think it really could because there is a nice gap over on that horizon. But man, what a phenomenal, phenomenal night of landscape photography. This is truly incredible. Unbelievable. Okay, so the sun has dropped behind the horizon. Like a moron, I put on my 400 millimeter and tried shooting the windmills out there. With this wind, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I've wasted that time. The sun has dropped below the horizon, and there's some beautiful pinks in the sky over here, so I'm hoping they'll catch here. I'm seeing little bits in the sky, and on the back of my camera, I can see quite a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one more pass, and the sky right now on the camera is just a bright blue, so any color that we get from that setting sun is gonna give beautiful contrast. I don't think that this is gonna compete with the earlier images, but it'll just be an entirely different feel to the image. It's gonna be much, much cooler than the earlier shot. I know I'm being greedy. We already got a gorgeous image. We got a freaking rainbow in Colorado. That's pretty rare to see rainbows in Colorado. Definitely even more rare to have them in your composition. So the fact that I'm sitting here hoping these clouds are gonna catch is a little bit greedy, but what else am I gonna do? I'm here, right? Might as well wait. Standing in the middle of the field talking to myself, so might as well wait for the color. Oh, oh shit. Okay, so you probably just saw that giant lightning bolt. Truth be told, that's what I'm here for. We're supposed to get massive thunderstorms tonight. So when I get back to camp, I'm gonna set up, open a beer, light up a cigar, put on the long lens, and just try and capture some of that lightning. I didn't anticipate it to be coming in this early, So what I think I'm gonna do is, you can see we're starting to get some really nice red light. I'm gonna be a greedy prick. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shoot this one more time, pack up and hoof it back to camp, because I don't wanna get caught in a downpour. And I think I might here shortly. So let's go ahead and get one more and then let's get out of here. This doesn't even look real. This is incredible. The blues in the sky with the little bits of pink. It's so deep blue. And we've had so much rain this spring that this is the greenest I've ever seen this area. So between the green in the foreground and the last bits of warm light in the sky, there's just so much color in this scene. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. All right, we're done. That is it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get packed up, hoof it back to camp. Hopefully I make it before this rain starts coming down on me. But man, what more can you ask for? Beautiful clouds, excellent color contrast. We had so much warmth in that sky, so much texture. This is not the image that I came here to shoot, but man, it is way better than anything I had in mind. It is absolutely incredible. Sometimes you just come out here and you just get lucky. That's all it is. I just got lucky today. And boy, am I grateful for it. I hadn't had a chance to get out in a little bit, so it really feels good to come away with an image. But okay, that's enough. I'm gonna go ahead and pack up, make my way back to camp.
This ended up being my favorite image of the evening. I love the soft, warm light and the contrast of the cool storm clouds in the sky. The color is just enough to bring life to the image without distracting from the subject. The interest of the rainbow on the right-hand side is well balanced with the windmills on the left, perfectly framed by this break in the clouds. When I think back to that night, this image, to me, perfectly captures how it felt standing there. When I originally reviewed these images, I thought that this would end up being my preferred image. However, this scene as it stands just doesn't work for me. Although the texture in the clouds is spectacular, the warm light on the butte causes it to almost blend into the warmth of the sky behind it. Now this is an image that I'm going to need to revisit after some time, as I can definitely do a better job in post to do proper justice to the image. However, as I was reviewing this scene, I quickly realized that what I loved about it was the texture and the drama. The color really doesn't add anything to that. If anything, it detracts from it. So I converted it to black and white. Now this is an image that I love. The separation between the butte and the sky is now stark and dramatic. The wedge of light from the setting sun adds depth and dimension to the scene, and the clouds now stand out, adding so much interest throughout the frame. It's easy to get caught up in the beauty of a colorful scene without realizing what that color is taking away. This black and white image was a pleasant surprise, as it's not at all what I was thinking about in the field. I try to be intentional with my work, but sometimes it's just better to get lucky, and this is one of those times. Speaking of pleasant surprises, this is an image that I almost didn't even bother to capture. I thought there was no way that this subtle blue hour scene could compete with the gorgeous warm light that we had just 10 minutes before, and I was completely wrong. This scene works so well in color because the butte contrasts perfectly with the cool blue skies behind it. We get that color separation that was lacking in the previous image. I shifted the frame slightly to the left because I wanted to capture more of the windmills in the distance, because I think they really add to the tranquil feel of the scene. When we look at these two color images side by side, we can see the exact same composition, yet they evoke an entirely different feeling. These two images provide contrasting emotions, perfectly illustrating the diversity of the landscape. The first image is dynamic and dramatic. We can almost feel the energy of the approaching storm. Meanwhile, the second image is tranquil and serene. In this image, the storm clouds barely even register to the viewer. And this is what I love so much about landscape photography. I can do everything in my power to evoke feelings within the viewer, but ultimately it's up to nature and the landscape to dictate what those emotions are. I know for me, the emotions I felt that evening were pure joy.
All right, well, I am happy to say that I reviewed the images and they look awesome. They look so freaking good. I still don't know, it's part of the problem with shooting a pano is that when I review the images, I still don't know what they're gonna look like when they're stitched and which rendition I'm gonna prefer. Originally I said that I think I'm gonna prefer the later one where we lost the rainbow but had much more dramatic skies. And then as I look back, I don't know, I really like the one with the rainbow because at that point we had rain coming down on the horizon and it was just beautiful. So I don't know which one I prefer, but I'll show you both and you let me know in the comments which one you prefer. But for now, I've got a cold beer and some hot soup. So I'm gonna sit here, relax for a bit and just reflect on the day. I can't imagine how chaotic this video is gonna be. Not the video I intended to capture. I thought it was gonna be a nice peaceful scene capturing some wildflowers and instead I just ended up being a crackhead running around with my camera. So I apologize. Hopefully it comes out and you enjoy the images and the scenery as much as I did. But other than that, make sure you come back for the next video because tomorrow we'll be getting up early. It is 10 o'clock now and we will be getting up around 4, head back out for sunrise. I don't know what I'm gonna do for sunrise, to be honest. I'll probably go with a similar composition, but this time the sun will be rising directly behind the buttes. So I'll probably position myself further to the east so that the sun rises between the two buttes. And that'll be the entire scene. So it'll be more like a 4x5 with a butte on either end and then the sun coming up in the middle. I'm hoping that there'll be enough cloud to kind of obscure the sun a little bit. And then that'll be a really nice scene. It'll be much different than what we shot today. So that's the goal. But for now, I'm gonna stuff my face, get a couple hours of sleep, get right back out there. I hope you enjoyed the video. More importantly, I hope you enjoyed the images. Thanks for sticking with me and I'll see you tomorrow.